What do you think learning is? This video will support you to reflect on how you have learnt so far in your degree, what you have learnt about learning, and how you can learn actively and for real in our unit and through the rest of your life. Almost 9 years on, I keep my notes in my office. Just used them again today. There were about half a dozen units that were really worth going to uni for, and that was certainly one. Past student in a financial statement analysis unit, 9 years on. What makes it really worth going to uni for? What sort of learning have you been doing at uni? A university education is not additive, but transformative. Learning is not just a quantitative increase in facts I add to my backpack of knowledge. Rather, real learning changes me in some significant way. Learning is more effective when it is an active rather than a passive process. Passive learning is when we are receiving other people's knowledge, our teachers, writers of textbooks. Active learning is when we construct our own knowledge, take charge of our own learning individually and collectively. For many people, it can be difficult to learn actively, interacting with others in the unit, with the content, and with our teaching staff. This can particularly be the case for online or distance students. It can be so easy to be passive and to just see learning as gaining new facts and knowledge. Rote learning. Learning at university and in our lives more generally does not need to be limited to this. It can be much more. We need to connect what we learn to our previous experience and prior knowledge. We get to do this in our readings as we have the opportunity to read critically, identifying our key concepts and questions and communicating our responses and reactions to these key concepts. You see, learning is not just about impersonal and passive information transfer. When we start uni, we usually think there are clear-cut and black and white answers to everything. And we can think we'll get these answers from an authoritative source, our lecturer or writer of materials. Many people can end uni thinking there are no right answers to anything we are studying. Everything is relative, and we can often fall into just giving the lecturer the answers we feel they want to hear. This is an important step to go through, but it is very bad if that is where we end up at the end of our degree. We can end up thinking accounting is just a game. Where we need to end up is having personal commitments, for example about aspects of accounting, based on evidence. I think something is true for these reasons, and I'm happy to discuss these reasons with others and to consider others' reasons in support of alternative points of view on aspects of accounting. This intellectual journey from going from clear-cut black and white answers to personal commitments based on evidence is what university is all about. Have you ever had the experience of studying a unit, passing the subject, and perhaps even doing well in the assignment or exam, and then just a short while later not being able to even remember much of what you had thought you had learnt? Passive learning, just regurgitate and forget, is not real learning. It is pretend learning. In our unit, you may need to adjust to an active learning approach as we actively learn together about financial statement analysis. Hopefully, you'll find learning in our unit to be a fantastic experience.